Yeah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Eshel. Eshel. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hi. Yeah, we are live. Good evening. Good day to you. Good day to you. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so glad to have you here. We are so glad to have you here. Um, yeah. Yeah, I got that boy. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. My name is Amaka-Virtue Nathaniel. So glad to see you all today. Such a privilege to be on your screen today again. Good day to you. Has been your day? How have you been holding up? How is it going with you? God has been faithful, right? Yeah, God has been faithful. God has been faithful. And I hope you have been enjoying yourself, enjoying the weather. If you're in Nigeria, it's been raining. It's been raining. I hope you have been enjoying the weather. You have been enjoying the weather. All right, so let's just give I think our speaker is having a bit of a struggle to join us. Just take a moment while you let us know where you're watching us from. Where are you watching us from? Where are you watching us from? Where are you watching us from? Canada, UK, Australia, where? Europe, where exactly are you watching us from? Let's know in the comments. Let's know in the comments where you are watching us from. I hope I'm loud enough. I hope you can hear my voice. You can see me clearly. I appreciate you all once again. I appreciate you all once again. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I want to see my host is having a bit of a struggle. Let me see what's going on with her. And let me see what's going on with her. She's having a bit of a struggle. Let me see what's going on with her. Alrighty. Alrighty. Alright, so welcome. Welcome. So while we get at yeah, Benin City, thank you. Thank you for joining all the way from Benin City. So while we try to get our guests to join us, let's just continue with this moment. Good evening to you. Good evening, everyone. We are so privileged to have you join us today. So let's jump right into it, okay? While we try to wait for our guests, while we try to wait for our guests, while we try to wait for our guests. Alrighty. So, um, welcome. And as soon as she join, I will notify us so that we can continue. So, wow. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sisters in purpose. Good evening, mothers of destiny. Good evening, teens coach, teen parents, every woman under the sound of my voice. It's such a privilege to have you here today, and I hope you can see me very well. You can hear me, and it's okay from my end. I need to be sure, so put it in the comments if you can see me. Good evening, God evening too to you. I like that. I know that is a typical error, but it's fine. Okay, so welcome once again to another impactful edition of Thursday Live with Female Ministers Haven. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, yeah. Welcome once again. I don't know what's happening with our speaker, but then we'll get her to join us in a bit. We'll get her to join us in a bit. So it's another Thursday Live, and Thursday Live is a weekly, so refreshing session with so much wisdom packed. We have several conversations around family, marriage, ministry, business, purpose, a whole lot. We have a whole lot of package. And I'm your host for tonight. My name is Amaka-Virtue Nathaniel. I am the convener of Female Ministers Haven. And tonight, we are diving into one of the most delicate, but yet powerful assignments many of us carry. That's parenting teenagers. I know when your children are much younger, not yet teenagers, it's easier for you to groom them, so but when they begin turn, their teens age and all of that, there's kind of like a change. All right. So we want to begin to balance that in this month of children celebration and all of that. In that spirit, last week we talked about children, your child being in the army, right? While this week we are looking at another conversation that is going to be so striking, one that you enjoy, one that even if you're not married, you would definitely need it. And I know you have teenagers around you. If you're a teens coordinator, a teens coach, mentor, you're a parent of teen, or you're single, you're not yet married, you have teenagers around you that you can actually use this conversation of this session to enrich them, right? So let's be honest, parenting teens in today's world, it feels like walking through a battlefield. It feels blindfolded sometimes, like a bit of a struggle, right? All right, so 1 minute they're hugging you, the next minute they slam the door. You try to talk, they roll their eyes like, "Excuse me, mom, I'm now a teenager." You ask questions, it just shuts you down. You give advice, they say, "Mommy, you don't just get it. And does it sound familiar? Does it sound like something you have experienced? All right. So now, this stage of parenting is not just about giving instruction. It's not about giving, because I think that's where some of us as parents find it. Our guest is here. Thank you for joining. Find it difficult to pull through. So we want to give so much instruction, and we are not connecting. So it's about connection, more of connection, building connections and all of that. So it's not about pushing our way in. We want to force them, but it's about creating a safe space for our teenagers to let us in. So, and that's exactly what we are doing tonight. The place of connection and bonding with parenting teenagers. So, because if we don't connect, we can't correct. Put it down in the comments. If we don't connect, we can't correct. And so, if we lose connection, um, we risk losing influence. So, for those that are joining us for the first time, joining us for the first time in Female Ministers Haven Thursday Live, this is not just your regular broadcasts and all of that. Maybe you just stumble into it. Yes, it's a movement. So every week we unpack real life issues that concern women in ministry, leadership, parenting, purpose, prayer, marriage, ministry, and more. A whole lot. So every Thursday, Female Ministers Haven go live at 8 p.m. Um, and in Female Ministers Haven, we believe that a woman can be anointed and aligned so she can serve the altars and steward her assignment, both as a parent at home and as a woman of impact. So, welcome once again. If you're a first timer, please put it in the comments so that I'll give you a warm welcome for joining us live today for the first time. Yeah, thank you. So now I want to know how many of us are parenting a teenager right now. And if you are parenting a teenager, I want you to put a fire emoji on the comments. And if any teenager has ever said, "Mommy, you're overthinking, it's not what you think," Just raise up your hand like this in the comment. Let's see. Just wave or clap or thereabouts. And so, if you have ever, had a tough time parenting a teen, I want you to just put in the comments a heart, an emoji of hearts, like, oh, we are holding our hearts like this. So, if you are mentoring or working with teens in any capacity, this session is for you. So, I'll just roll up a bio of our guests. Sorry, we couldn't put up the video. I don't know what's going on here. But then let me just read out the bio of our guest while we get her to join us live. Our guest for today is Rachel Henry. Your kids are not yet teens yet, so it's a good room for you to join and listen up so that you can build them when that time comes. All right. So Rachel Henry is a certified teenagers adolescent counselor, a cognitive behavioral therapist, emotional stability coach with over 10 years of experience mentoring adolescents. She is also a leadership mentor and a trained public speaker. She has a track record of positively influencing and shaping the life of adolescents in a move that helps them to maximize their potential. Our passion is for helping teenagers thrive. Our passion for helping teenagers thrive, excuse me, please, led her to write the inspirational book, Dear Arise. She has also written feature articles for teenagers magazines. She's currently working on her latest book titled Sex Education for Preteens, Teenagers, and Adolescents, which will be launched soon. Please, these books are very important for us to get. Dear Teen Arise and also Sex Education for Preteens, Teenagers, and Adolescents. All right, she's an online community. She has an online community where she holds regular sessions with parents of adolescents and on how they can better connect and bond with their children. She currently hosts several parenting platforms, and Coach Rachel is an advocate for raising capable adolescents who are exalted and rise above adolescents' menace. Oh, so ladies, let's make welcome the amazing Coach Rachel. So such a privilege to have you. I'm trying to hide you. What's going on? What's this? Oh wow. Okay, you are on the screen now. That's fine.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
evening.
Good
Good evening.
evening.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here actually.
It's such a
Good evening,
privilege to have
everyone.
you. We're
Thank you
excited to
so
have you.
much.
Thank you for creating you. And I think today you're supposed to be live or something, but then you chose to be here. We do not take your
Yes, yes, I am. I
audience,
am. Thank
yes,
you
for
so
granted.
much for
Yeah,
having me. You are
I don't
thank you.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you once again. So please take us into the heart of this conversation because we are ready. You can see in the comments, we are ready. Everyone is ready. Please
Okay.
welcome
All right.
Coach Rachel Henry. Let's share the fire emoji, roll up the red carpets. Let her know that we are excited to have her. Show her female
Yeah.
ministers
Thank you so much for
love.
that.
Thank you so much. So now we are talking about. Can you hear me? I think your network is a bit
Yes.
cracky.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So we are talking about the place of connection and bonding with parenting teenagers. And so Coach Henry Rachel is here away. So please, you have the floor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. The place of connection and bonding in parenting teenagers. Now, if you are a parent of a teenager, you will know that parenting teenagers, when I tell people that, they think parenting toddlers is difficult. That's what people think. Though, so you wait until you start parenting teenagers. That's when you will know that there's work to be done. Yeah, there's serious work to be done when you are parenting
Exactly.
a teenager. And you
Yeah.
have to be intentional, you have to be deliberate, you have to
Yeah.
be conscious when parenting a teenager. You can't just you can't
Making
afford
it
to
more.
keep making the wrong moves
Sure.
when you
Sure.
are parenting a teenager. Now, connection, bonding are very, very key, very vital, very important to your success as a parent of a teenager. I'll say that again. Connection and bonding are very, very important, and are very important factors that determine if your parenting a teenager will succeed or not. It all
Mm.
boils down to your connection and your bonding with them. You know, the age of teenagers that we are parenting now, they are not those that age that you can use fear to intimidate. No,
Yeah,
these
exactly.
ones are bolder. Yeah, these ones are bolder. These ones are more audacious. These ones are more
Mm.
daring. These ones are
Mm.
adventurous. So it's not those times that you just bully them and say, my friend, sit down, or my friend, keep quiet, or will you live here and you expect everything to just be rosy after that outburst. No, it doesn't work that way. Your success as a parent of a teenager boils down to your connection and your bonding. Now, I usually
Mm.
tell parents, don't wait until your children become teenagers before you start thinking of connecting and bonding with them. That is another topic for another day. Do not wait
Mm.
until your children are teenagers, because if you wait, if you make that mistake, it's going to, lead to so many other things that you don't even want to imagine. So start your bonding, your connection from when your children are younger. Now, if you have made the mistake already of not bonding with them, not connecting with them, yeah, there is still hope. There's still something you can do. But I want to tell you that I already said that parenting a teenager is difficult, yeah? Parenting a teenager that you had not bonded with earlier, it's more difficult, yeah, but it's
Mm.
doable. It's doable. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of intentionality. It takes a lot of you being there, being present, and being focused to be able to achieve that, right? So the place of connection and bonding in parenting teenagers cannot be overemphasized. I usually tell people, a teenager that you have not bonded with, a teenager that you have not connected with, you cannot correct. Any teenager that you have not bonded with, that you have not connected with, you cannot correct that teenager. And you cannot successfully parent that teenager. How do you connect with your children, your teenagers? How do you connect with them? There are certain factors that you need to put in place. Number one is that you need to listen to them. Number one factor in connecting with your children, your teenagers, is to listen to them. Actively listen. I'm not talking about when they're talking to you, you're on your phone, or you are busy, you're about work, and all those things are good, yeah? But you need to create time to actively listen. So when your teenager is talking to you, you need to put down your phone and listen to what it is that they are trying to tell you. Sometimes they try to talk to you from their body language. You need to be paying attention to what it is they are trying to tell you, because they actually have a lot to say. Some people say teenagers are secretive, they don't talk. No, it is because you've not created the right environment. That is why it's like they are not talking to you. When you create the right environment, you will notice that they talk a lot. They talk from their body language. They talk with their actions. Even their misbehaviors is a language they are trying to pass across to you. When a teenager is misbehaving, that teenager is trying to pass a message to the parents. It is because that teenager has realized that calmness cannot be the attraction of these parents. They've realized that being normal cannot get the attraction of my dad or my mom. So they now resort to misbehaving. They will intentionally misbehave just to get your attention. Now, for a teenager, any attention is better than no attention. They actually crave that attention. Any attention is better than no attention. So they will deliberately, if they see that they are not getting your attention, they will deliberately misbehave. They can start failing in school, for instance, Or they can start skipping classes because they know the school authorities will call your attention to it. So they'll do anything. They'll go out of their way to do anything. Some of them can start following a bad gang. They know that this information will get to you, the parents. They know. So this misbehavior is their way of telling you something. They are trying to catch your attention. So actively paying attention, actively listening to your teenagers is key in getting them to connect with you. I'll keep saying it. A teenager that you have not bonded with, that you are not connected with, you cannot correct. There's nothing you want to tell that teenager. It will be going in one ear, it will be coming out the other ear. Yeah? Listen to what it is they are saying. There is so much they are trying to tell you, but you are not paying attention. That is number one. Number two is play time. Some people say teenagers, they like to be in their room, they like to be on their own. That is not absolutely correct. It depends on the kind of environment that you have been able to create. Is there an enabling environment? Is the home environment okay for these teenagers to thrive? The teenagers that you are parenting, do they feel seen? Do they feel secure? Do they feel soothed? These are three key things that you need to be mindful of. The teenagers you are parenting, do they feel seen? Do they feel like you are actually seeing? Or the atmosphere you are creating is like they are invisible. Are you making them invisible? Or you can actually see them? Can you see what is going on in their life? Can you see their secret fears? Because they have so many secret fears. Can you see their worries? Can you see their concerns? Because I've seen so many parents that their teenager is being bullied, and the parents didn't even have a clue. They didn't have an idea that their teenager is being bullied. It is because that teenager is invisible to that parent. That is why the parent didn't even know. They didn't even know it. It has to take an outside influence or source for the parent to realize that their child is being bullied outside. Playtime. Do you play with your teenagers, or you are all about work? You're always busy, planning the next day at work. You come back from work, you're already thinking of the next day. You are in and out of the house. Do you actually create time for playing with these teenagers? Don't forget that now they are teenagers. All those plays that we usually play with toddlers or younger children might not work for teenagers. What kind of play do you play with them? Like yesterday, I brought out my phone, and I was actually trying to learn some new dance skills. So I brought out my phone, I went to TikTok, and I saw some videos. And the next thing, I called my daughter, who is a preteen, and I told her, come and see these dance moves. Let's learn them together. And we were there, we were dancing. She wasn't getting it. I was trying to teach her. All these are playtime. Deliberately creating playtime, because if we don't deliberately create this time, there's no time. As adults, we struggle with time. Time is almost always never enough, but you have to intentionally create this time. That is number two. Number one, I said listen, actively listen. Number two, I said playtime, creating playtime. Number three is family time. Yeah, family time. Even if you have a teenager that is reserved, maybe due to their temperament or whatever, maybe they are always maybe they are introverted. Yeah, so you can actually create family time that will involve everyone, both the extroverted, introverted family members. So create family time, spend time together as a family. It is very, very important. Spend time together as a family, doing fun things. Sometimes I call my children together and we are playing football around the compound. If you see me, you think that what's wrong with this woman? Yeah, and I know what I'm doing. Yeah, we are creating bonding, we are creating connection. Okay? Number four, be present. Do not be parenting absent. I tell people that some parents are actually physically present but emotionally absent. Some parents are physically present, but they are emotionally absent. They are there with you in the house, but they don't know what's going on around them. They are physically there, but emotionally they are far away. So they are not connecting with these children emotionally. On an emotional level, they don't connect with their teenagers. So you need to be present to connect with them. Be present physically, be present emotionally. And number 5 is the love language. Very, very important. Each of your children have a different love language, especially for teenagers. You need to find out the love language of your teenager. Very important. What is the love language of your teenager? If you don't know about love language, you need to go on a little research to go and find out about the different love languages we have and how it applies to your teenager. Because it's like love language is very serious. It's like maybe I'm a German citizen and you come to me and you are speaking French. There's no how I can understand what you are saying. You are speaking a different language, entirely different. I cannot understand you. I can hear you, but I cannot understand you. I cannot connect with you. I cannot communicate with you because it's a language I do not understand, and that is what you are speaking. So when you're, for instance, if the love language of your child is quality time, and you're always bringing gifts, which is another love language, you're always bringing gifts to that child, and the love language of that child is quality time or even words of affirmation, but you're always bringing gifts. You feel that, okay, when I give this child gift, they should be grateful, they should be appreciative and all that. But that is not the love language of that child. That is not the love language of that teenager. You're speaking an entirely different language that they cannot relate with. So you need to find out the love language of your teenager. Find out the love language of your teenager and start speaking that language. Start speaking that language, and I can assure you that you will be connected, you will be bonded with that teenager. Number 1, I said listen actively. Number 2, I said play, creating playtime. Number 3, I said family time. Very important. Number 4, I said be actively present. And number 5, I mentioned love language. Now, what are those factors that causes disconnect? Because in my work, in my experience as a teenagers coach, I see, parents bring their teenagers to me, and there's always one thing or the other that is the issue. And I've been able to sit down and analyze and say, okay, what exactly is bringing this disconnect between these parents and their teenagers? Number 1 is harsh rules. The kind of harsh rule. Some parents feel that the times have moved ahead, yeah, but some parents are not willing to move on with the time. So they still feel that you can suffocate a teenager. Some parents still feel that you can suffocate that teenager to comply. Maybe you can pressure them into complying. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work for a teenager of this age and time. So harsh rules, number 1, harsh rules can cause a disconnect between you and your teenager. It can cause a disconnect. What do I mean by harsh rules? Don't do this. You're always about the don't. Now, let me tell you something about the teenager's brain, the human brain, right? In the human brain, we have the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. I'll tell you how this relates to the brain of a teenager or an adolescent, if you like. So we have the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. So the prefrontal cortex is that part of our brain that is responsible for thinking, for reasoning, for logic, for analyzing. That is the prefrontal cortex. So for teenagers and adolescents, the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed. It is still developing. Then we go to the amygdala, which is the second part of the brain. The second part of the brain, amygdala, is responsible for emotions, feelings, and all that. So the funny thing is that the amygdala of the teenager or adolescent is more developed than the prefrontal cortex. So teenagers tend to do things based on emotions. They will first react based on their emotions before they sit down to think of the consequences of their action. They would have already reacted. That is why you see teenagers do a lot of things. They are impulsive. Unless a teenager that has gotten the guidance from a knowledgeable adult, or the teenager that has been exposed to certain cognitive skills, that is, a normal and average teenager responds more with emotions rather than thinking and reasoning and logic. Now, if you're always using harsh rules on your teenager, the likelihood of that teenager responding is very low. When you're always imposing rules, imposing restrictions, imposing sanctions on that teenager, the amygdala of that teenager will just go into action and shut down their reasoning aspect of their brain. So they can't follow the harsh rules you are bringing. They'll just be reacting based on their emotions. That is just what they'll be doing. They'll just be reacting based on their emotions, and you'll be saying it. Another thing that causes disconnect is when a parent lectures their teenagers too much. Some parents are all about lecturing the teenager, talking about, in my time, this is how we used to do, this is how we used to behave, and this is how you are supposed. Everything is a lecture. Those teenagers don't like too much talk. They don't like too much talk. They prefer action to talk. So when you're talking, lecturing, you turn every little thing to a lecture, they will zone you out. Do you understand? They will just zone that parent out. So do not turn everything to a lecture. There's a way you go about it. You can model some of the things you want to lecture about. There's always something you want to lecture them about, but you can model it. Maybe they are not reading their books the way you want them to. So instead of turning it into a lecture and you're going on all about how they are going to fail, how they are not going to amount to much in life and all that, you can decide to model studying, reading. So when they see you reading, when they see you studying, even as an adult, you don't need to tell them to go and study. You don't need to tell them to go and read. You have successfully modeled it. They see you reading, they will copy it. So instead of lecturing, you can model. I'll tell us a story. Yeah. So I have this parenting group that I run. So a parent came to me and told me about her teenager. She was like, she's actually a preteen, and she told the mom was saying the teenager. The teenager came to meet her mom and was saying that, Mom, I want to relax my hair. I want to put relaxer on my hair. And the mom was trying to tell the daughter that, no, you don't do this. Relaxers causes cancer. This is destructive. It's not good for your health and all that and all that. And the mom was just going on and turning it into a lecture. And this teenager walked out on the mom. True life story. She walked out on the mom. I'll tell you another story related to relaxers. My daughter, when she had natural locks, so it got to a time she told me she was tired of the locks. We need to lose it, take it out and all that. So I said, no problem. You're tired of the locks, no problem. So I helped her to take out the locks. Then I went to the market and I bought relaxer. I know relax. I don't put relaxer on my hair. So nothing against relaxers for those that use relaxer. So I'm just giving an illustration, all right? So I went to the market. I bought this relaxer and I gave it to her. And I said, okay, after when we are done taking out all your locks, you can have this relaxer. I will take it to the salon and they will help you to relax your hair. And my daughter was like, no, I'm not going to relax my hair. I'm not going to put relaxer on my hair. And I said, why not? And she said that because you've always, I don't see you using relaxer, and you've always given me examples of how relaxer affected one person or the other. So I'm not going to use relaxer on my head. There was no long talk about it. There was no need to turn anything into. There was no need for me to impose my feelings, my opinions on her. She already got the message. Number one, from what I modeled to her. Number two, from the normal discussion and gist, normal daily gist. Maybe we are cooking or we are preparing to go out and we're just gisting. And that was how I was able to pass that message across to her. I never had to force anything on her. So when you are parenting a preteen, a teenager, you need to not lecture them too much. They don't like it. They will zone you out. And it will cause a serious disconnect. So every time you are lecturing, even if it is you, the adult, if someone is always lecturing you, everything, every life situation, they turn it into a lecture. With time, you start avoiding that person. And that is exactly what we do to our teenagers. Don't turn everything into a lecture. It is better you model it. It is better you gist about it. than to turn it into a lecture. Another thing that causes a disconnect is not modeling right. Not modeling right. I already talked about, I gave an example of reading. Yeah, you want your child to read. So what some parents do is to, tell the child, in my time, I used to come first. In my time, I was this boy. In my time, I was class prefect. In my time, I don't know. African parents, all of us, we came first in our time. There's no parent that did not come first. African parent. Yeah. So, but this child you are telling, this teenager you are telling to read, has never seen you read any book. They have never seen you read any motivational book or self-development book. They've never seen you anything. But you're always telling them stories, stories, stories. And these stories are not relatable because they are your time. And your time is different from the time they are now. So how do you pass your message across? It's by modeling right. Not modeling right will cause a disconnect between you and your teenager. So you need to find ways to model right. Remember, when you're parenting a teenager, they see what you are doing more than they hear what you are saying. They see what you are doing more than they hear what you are saying. Even those things you feel or you think they are not seeing, they are seeing everything. They see everything. Just that they might not want, they'll keep quiet, but they see everything. And if you are able to successfully model right to them, you've got them. You've got that connection on point. Another point is a lack of emotional intelligence on the part of parents. So if you are a parent of a teenager, you need to go on an emotional intelligence study, like take a course on emotional intelligence. You cannot be always going into outbursts, always raging, always losing your temper, and you are parenting a teenager. No, it doesn't work. There are two parallel lines. If you want to successfully parent a teenager, you need to be able to successfully manage your emotions. You need to successfully control your own emotions even before you ask that teenager to control and manage their own emotion. It starts from you, the parent. Work on your emotional intelligence. And lastly, I'll talk about the parenting style. When you are parenting a teenager, your parenting style is very, very important. Very, very important. You know, this helicopter kind of parenting that we do, always hovering around the child. What are you doing now? What is going on? Where are you? Who are you with? And all that. Who are you talking to? That hovering, that helicopter does not work for a teenager. So your parenting style is very important. You need to understand the kind of parenting style that works for each teenager. Yeah. So when you are parenting a child that melancholy, so temperament is also something that parents of teenagers need to be knowledgeable in. You need to study temperament. So if you are parenting a child that is a melancholy, you use a different parenting style from when you are parenting a child that is maybe a sanguine, for instance. There are two different personalities. You don't use the same parenting style for all the children. No, it won't give you the desired result. You need to take each child according to their temperament, their personality blend. Who is this child? What works best for this child? So if you are parenting a teenager that is a sanguine, there are some things you will say it doesn't even move them. Whereas if you are parenting a teenager that is a melancholy, there are some things you say that it knocks them down. It hits them hard. So do you know the teenager you are parenting? Do you know their temperament? Do you know their love language? Do you know their personality? Do you have playtime with them? Do you have gisting time with them? Are you actively present with them? Are you modeling right to them? Do you have emotional intelligence skills? All these are the questions I will leave you with. Thank you so much.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for this amazing session. And it's such a privilege to hear from you. I've learned a whole lot. Is there a noise? Is there an echo or something? Let me see.
No, there's not. No.
I could hear it from my end. So I'm trying to see. Okay. Let me just
Okay.
handle that from my end. Okay. I think it's fine now. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so I don't know. The comment section is buzzing. People are they are trying to share what they learned or got from your session, the aha moment, and all of that. And particularly, when you say active listening, I think we should just handle something about active listening. So, what's your prerequisite for active listening? What's the picture you can create in the heart of parents that are listening to us when it comes to what actually means to actively listen to your teenager? So let's just take that response from you.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. When I say active listening, what I mean is this. So, sometimes your teenager comes to you and you actually have time. You are less busy at that time. You listen to them. And there are other times that your teenager comes to you with and say, "Mommy, can I?" And you do, "Oh, no, 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 go away. Oh, no, no, I'm busy." Oh, you understand? So when you do that, you shut them down at that period. That time they want to say that thing. When you tell them, "What was that thing you wanted to tell me that time?" They will tell you, "Don't worry," because you have shut them down at that time they wanted to speak. So when you want to do active listening, number one, you need to position yourself. No, when the child cannot be talking to you and speaking to your back. You turn and face the child. Let there be eye contact. Let there be eye contact. That is part of listening. Your body language is also part of the listening. You are listening with your body. Now, when you are holding your phone and your teenager is talking to you, you can drop the phone and pay attention. It's all part of listening. Or you are on your computer system and the child is talking to you, your laptop. You can drop that laptop, put it aside, and focus on the child. Like zoom in on the child. It's part of active listening. And sometimes when you are genuinely busy, maybe you need to focus on a particular task at that time, and you don't want to lose your train of and all that, you can tell the child, "There's something I do." I tell my daughter, I can say, "Can you tell me this thing you want to tell me now? Don't forget it. Oh, make sure you don't forget it. Can you come back and tell me later? I'll call you when I'm done." So when I say make sure you don't forget it, she won't forget. And when I'm also like, it's also like a reminder to myself. When I say make sure you don't forget this thing you want to tell me, I also will not forget. So when I'm done with that thing I want to do, I will now call her and say, "Hey, come, what was that thing you were talking about?" And she will relate that story to me. It's different from go, "No, no, 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 go away, I'm busy, I'm busy." No, I'm busy at that point, but I made her understand that I am interested in that story. Because personally, I'm very interested in what my children have to say. I've learned so much from them. Things that happened in school, things that happened in the school bus, things that happened in the classroom, things that happened in the toilet that even the parents of these children were not aware of.
Yeah.
But my own teenager came home and told me about them because she knows she has a listening mom. So when she
Mm,
told me about them, sometimes I've had to intervene. I've had to do intervention in the school. Not
mm,
once, not twice. I've had to go to the school to intervene. There was a case of bullying that the parents were not even aware of, and it was very serious. There was a case of sexual harassment, and it was very serious. And I had to go. We
mm.
invited the parents, the principal, and all that. If I wasn't listening to my teenager, I wouldn't have known all those things, and I wouldn't have been able to help those children. They were involved. So active listening is very important. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Active listening is very important, as in it's key in connecting and bonding with our teenagers. As in very important, honestly, because I think this is where we sometimes get it wrong as parents of teenagers. I think, like you said, most times we want to go hard on them. Want to do it by force. This is not the violent take it by force, please. It can't work for teenagers. Yeah, exactly. It could work for toddlers, but I think when you start parenting teens, you need to start learning how to be calmer, like a calmer patient and parent, listening actively, like she said, and avoiding the use of harsh word. I think that's another angle where we struggle as parents. We use a lot of we use some harsh words on our teenagers, and that kind of turn them off. It's like a risk factor. It doesn't seem like a safe place again for them. They can't confide in you. They can't trust you to have conversation. Okay, just imagine. Let me paint a scenario now. A teenager walks up to the mom and said, "Ah, mommy, one boy now kissed me." Ah, African mom now. You say what? You would? What did you do again? Are you sure you did not do anything? Are you sure nothing happened? Are you sure? Oh my, it can be so dramatic. At that moment, she felt you were just the same person to speak with. And that response, that response is not actually what was necessary then. But the African mom in us now, or I want to prove that my daughter is innocent, she's a virgin, she's this and that. And we begin to say, oh, are you sure? We begin to paint another scenario entirely. That the teenager is saying, "Mommy, no, nothing like that. He just kissed me and I pushed him up." You don't even want to hear you pushed him up. The fact that he kissed you means he has done a lot of things. Oh God, that he has done a lot of things, and so it's so wrong. We get it wrong at times. Like you said, high emotional intelligence is needed, and I would encourage everyone, if you have not done any course on emotional intelligence, you should pick up that course. It's very, very important. All right. So Coach Rachel has two books, and I would like her to speak from those books. Share with us, and let us know how we can get your books as well. Let us know what you do with teenagers. Let us know how parents can sign up with you or with for their teenagers. Let's just know more about you and what you represent.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much. So yeah, like we already know, my name is Coach Rachel Henry. I work with teenagers. I'm working on them to improve their self-esteem, their self-confidence, and helping them to navigate tough and rough bends on their journeys to becoming. Because these teenagers actually they are on a journey, and most times they need a guide to help them to navigate the tough bends on these journeys so that they turn out to be wholesome, they turn out to be well equipped for the challenges of life. So I've had years of experience working with teenagers. I do one-on-one counseling for them, and I do group coaching and programs for teenagers. So, and what we've been able to do is to make these teenagers to be self-aware,
Mm,
self-awareness in teenagers, because in the society that we are today, you see that lots of teenagers don't even know who they are. They don't know what they want
yeah,
to be. They don't know.
that's
They don't know where they are headed. It's either they are just blindly following one celebrity, or they are blindly following one trend, or just
mm,
one thing or the other that is just all over the place. So what we
true.
do is to help these teenagers to be focused, to be self-aware, and we work
Yeah.
on their strengths while we help them to tackle their weaknesses. We don't just dwell on their weaknesses, which is one issue that I see that many parents have, dwelling so much on the weakness of the child. This damages the self-esteem of the teenager. So we're able to work on their weaknesses, help them to come out of these weaknesses gradually, then help them to identify their strengths, because many teenagers have so many strengths they are not even aware of. Like some
Mm,
days ago, I was talking to an adolescent, and she was telling me that, oh, mama, see, I need a job, I don't have money, and I'm broke and all that. I said, do you want me to talk? Are you sure you want me to talk? She said, yeah, mama, talk. I need you to talk. And I said, okay. Number one, you are a very resourceful person. You're a very resourceful adolescent. How come you are broke? And I said, off the top of my head, I can list 10 things that you can do. I know you can do to make money. You like this. I know 10 things that you can do to make money. How are you not making money with these things? And she said, mama, can you tell
mm,
me some of these things? I don't even know. And I started listing
mm,
them, her strengths, her areas of strength. I started listing them for her. And she said, wow, I didn't even know. And I gave her some guidelines. And I said, do this, do this, do this, and see if you won't make money. And do you know the funny thing? That same day, she puts it into practice. And that before the end of that day, she got an alert for a job.
wow.
And she said, oh, I've been
Wow.
sitting on these skills. I didn't even know I could make money. I said, stay there and be saying you are broke, you are broke. So financial intelligence is what we teach teenagers, what I teach teenagers. And cognitive skills, I equip them with cognitive skills so that they are able to be equipped for the challenges of life, because whether we know it or not, life is
Down.
full of so many challenges, and these teenagers are not left out of the challenges. So that is all about my coaching programs. So in my book, Dear Teen Arise, that is a book on self-awareness. I help the teenagers to be aware of who they actually are, to be able to identify their purpose. We talked about their strengths and their weaknesses, and how to go about life, how to navigate life. Yeah, and we have a list of distributors. I can share that later on. And the second book, self awareness, sex education for preteens, teenagers, and adolescents. That one is based on my experience with teenagers. I realized there are so many things they need to know about sex education that they don't know,
Exactly.
and I realized
Exactly.
that ignorance is one thing that is dealing them a seriously hard blow. So when they
That's
know
true.
these things, when
Mm,
they're able to read about them in a book, then it will help them to be more prepared and not to fall
mm.
into certain errors that they usually fall into in life. Yeah, so that is about my books and my courses.
Phew, that is amazing. You are doing so much, and obviously, from the way you speak, it's obvious that you know your onion, you understand your assignment, you understand how to go about this whole thing. So this has been so deep. I don't know our audience. I know you took notes. Please hold on to those notes. Um, but more than that, let's tonight's message, let it soak into your spirit. So let me know in the comment what was one thing that you got or differently from today's session. What stood out the most for you? Because personally, for me, when Coach Rachel said parenting teenager is more difficult when you don't know how to bond with them, and you start up early. You start up early to bond, to connect, and I like it again when she said you can model the things you want them to know or do. So just be their model. All right, that's
Mm,
those two, they hit so hard. And that reminds me that parenting is not about perfection. Like I said, parenting is about consistent intentional presence. That's what I tell people. Parenting is about consistent intentional um parenting and all of that. Um, we want to know you more. We want to meet you more. And like I told us, please, when we have guests like this, show them love. You can follow Coach Rachel on Facebook. Her name is Rachel Henry, and on IG as well. So that show her love. Just tell her how her session has blessed you or been of help to you. Ask her further questions. Reach out to her. I will drop under this video if she shares any link or any link to join her academy or community for parenting teenagers. I would like to share if she does, if she permit us to do that, so that other parents, even those that will be catching replay, will get to hear you and get to also follow you and know more about what you do with teenagers. We are so blessed to have you. It's such a privilege, and I know this session has blessed everyone listening to us. So please don't end it here. Just keep sharing about this session. Share to teenagers, share to people that coach teens, that are teens coordinators, might be your church environment. And if you know any teenager around you, you are their model practically. You don't need to be their mother. That's what I see. All right. So invite that mother, that spiritual leader, that teen counselor who needs this session. Share the link with them and let them catch a replay of this section. So let's begin to raise teenagers, who are not just obedient, but are connected, that are
mm,
empowered, and they
mm,
feel secure in
mm,
a society
mm,
like this, not just in around their parents, but in the society at large. And that's why, if you are not yet a parent, this session is one of the best sessions you should hold, because you are learning ahead what it takes to parent a teenager. So to everyone that has watched us, to all our viewers, to our coach, Rachel, that joined us today, we want to say a big thank you to you. We honor you with our hearts. You are a gift, and you are a blessing. And to every parent out there that is struggling silently, you are not alone. You heard from her. There are other parents that are struggling. You are doing better than you think. So don't struggle anymore. Get a coach like Rachel. Connect with her. to help you navigate your way with how to parent your teen. We love you, Coach Rachel. Thank you so much. We'll see you again. Definitely, we'll connect more and do more things together. I'm so privileged to have you here. We are so privileged. So, to all our viewers, please keep parenting with purpose, keep bonding with boldness. We'll see you again next week, Thursday, same time, same fire, same venue at 8 p.m. Female Ministers Haven and Amaka-Virtue Nathaniel. So, until then, please stay refined, stay refreshed, and keep watching Amaka-Virtue Nathaniel, Female Ministers Haven. We bring you good news. And please, before we leave, let me share with us because I think tonight they'll push out the post for our next webinar. It's next week, 7 and 8 of June. That's my birth month. 17th June, I'll be 40th. And the month of June is just a month of deep gratitude for me and for female ministers even and for every brand I represent. So I'm gonna be pleading with all of you, please, 7th and 8th June, Saturday, Sunday, 7 p.m. Let's all be here. Stay glued to this same place where we'll get a whole lot. And the theme for this webinar, you know, all our webinars are usually fantastic. They are out of this world. The theme for this webinar is the chosen woman. The chosen woman. Come and learn what it takes to be chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. We are going to be hearing so many things. I'm going to be doing that with my audacious sister, Amarachi Amusi. I know you've had her before in our webinar. We are having her once again. And trust me, yeah, it's going to be one that's it's of an impact of a lifetime. I'll see you all again. Thank you again for joining. Till then, be the best. We love you. Thank you, Coach Rachel. Have a
Thank
good night.
you.
All right.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, good night.